Conrad Koss. The next day. Bouncy balls, they're back.
Order. Court is now in session. Suspected terrorist Sarah Fletcher has been accused of murdering Jet Turner, and today we are tasked with determining her guilt. As many of you are aware, an ongoing situation at our city's library has resulted in extra pressure for today's trial. If I understand correctly, the police hope that what we learn in the courtroom will aid in the arrest of the criminals orchestrating the siege.
His beard shadows right. Phoenix! Look, he tried some Just for Men. It didn't work that well, okay? He's a judge, not a beautician.
With that said, in his defense... Mr. Cross?
Ha! I was kidding! What? No! Holy fuck. I was joking. You must have me confused with someone else, Your Honor.
Oh, I see. My apologies. In that case, you must be...
Objection.
Hey, Ajax! How pitiful. Okay, hi. Oh my god, There, I made a clip at least, so I could go back and... Good god. Remember to make a video. How pitiful. Wait, that's a person? I thought it was an art exhibit. I have no words for this. Like a psycho mantis here. Your Honor, the human cross is attempting to deceive you. Such a pathetic disguise must not disrupt the accuracy of this trial.
Good heavens, are you a person? I thought you were an art exhibit.
Your underhanded insult is irrelevant to my purpose and therefore will not be processed by my cybernetics. My name is Ajax. I have served in these courts for some time now.
Oh, yes, it's been a while since I've seen you, so I must have forgotten how frightening your appearance is.
It is quite natural for humans to fear what they do not understand. I am not offended by your statement. Are we not going to address the floating chair? It seems there is some confusion amongst the population today, so it is my duty to clarify my existence. I am Ajax. Though my core is human, some of my internal organs and external body parts are machine. Some have called me a cyborg. It is an appropriate description.
I see. With today's technological advancements, it is a very exciting time to be alive.
I'm still pretty confused. I don't think I've seen anyone like Ajax before. But rest assured that my robotic components are state-of-the-art and stem from prototype designs that are not currently available on the market. And do not worry yourself with my ability to prosecute. I am more than qualified for this job. I also have a pneumatic peanut.
Ah, yes. I remember you having a pretty extensive track record. This will be just a normal trial that happens to be run by a cyborg.
You can't stop me, Dora! You can't stop me! I'm afraid the situation is anything but normal, Your Honor. The deception of one Conrad Cross still lingers in my optical data stream. What? You are not the defense attorney. You do not belong there. I'll find a way. Today, a streamer was banned from his own channel.
He's right, Mr. Cross. You're only a prosecutor according to our official records. As such, you are not qualified to defend the accused in this trial.
Wait, but Conrad is who I want as my attorney.
I'm afraid that doesn't matter. Without being registered in our system, we cannot allow any arbitrary person to act in this role.
But I know everything about this case. I can defend her.
I'm sorry, there are no exceptions. You must leave this room immediately and make way for a court-appointed attorney.
It can't end like this. I have to protect Sarah. Do I need to buy even more time?
Bailiff, please escort Cross outside.
Objection.
It's flocking.
What the?
Yes, she made it. I'm sorry it took so long. I think the court will want to see this.
She's a bad bitch. I see. It appears the paperwork for a new defense attorney has been filed this morning, and Mr. Cross is now fully registered.
Last night, I asked Flocking to help with the situation. And it seems she came through for me. I'm now a defense attorney. This is completely insane, but I know in my heart that it was the correct decision. Very well. If the human standing before me is not qualified according to our laws, I have no objection to his presence today.
Right. In that case, how does the defense plead?
I never thought I'd have to say these words. Not guilty, Your Honor. We refute all charges.
Very well. Then if the prosecution is ready, I'd like to hear a report of the situation so we can better understand the situation.
Certainly, Your Honor. The hostage crisis has occupied our best detectives, so we have chosen a replacement to explain the scene. You may now come up to the stand. Is it who I think it is? Please to be who I think it is. Oh no, it's the Chief of Police!
Hey, I'm Miles Bart, Chief of Police for this district. Well, this is quite a surprise. I would have thought you'd be busy as well with everything going on.
Yeah, I thought so too, but I got my best officers on it. I'm here because I needed some fresh air. I'm pretty sure the air is more stuffy here. Chief Batten was Batten or Baton? I'll get back. Chief Batten was present when the body of Jet Turner was found. He can relay details of the crime as we know it.
I see. Then you may proceed with your explanation.
Let's recap. The other day at around 11 p.m., we got a call that something bad was happening at the library. My team and I immediately responded and planned to secure a base of operations at Stone Spotted Park, but when we got there, we found something. The body of Jet Turner was face down in the lake, and blood could be seen exiting the wound in his arm. That narrows the time of death down to before 11 p.m. It was a bullet wound. We thought that could have been the cause of death, but our analysis shows something else. Take a look at the autopsy report. It'll explain everything. Autopsy report. He died from a lack of oxygen? That's right. And we found water in his lungs. With what we can conclude, he drowned in the lake he was found floating in. I still think my theory about the fuel tank holds. I think it holds.
My word. So the killer carried out their plan in a public park?
To be precise, based on the autopsy alone, it is possible another location was the true scene of the murder, perhaps in some other body of water. But in context with evidence we have yet to present, it will soon make sense why we believe this was the location of his death. For now, the prosecution wishes to highlight the other wounds inflicted on the victim. I can use the details button to see the extra information that came with the autopsy report. Sounds like they're going to be referencing it to say what details, which is the details button. That's the script. Oh, here we go. Okay, water was found in Turner's lungs. Bullet wound located in upper left arm. The bullet went clean through. Victim suffered a broken right arm and leg. Marks on the wrist suggest that his hands were bound before death. No signs of strangulation. Okay. Between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. Okay. That's right. Turner had a broken arm and leg, and his hands were clearly bound with some sort of rope.
Are we to believe these injuries are the reason he drowned?
Yep. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Objection.
I can say you might assume that, but there is one thing we should consider before rushing to conclusions. How deep is the lake in Stone Spotted Park? Specifically, what's the depth of the water at the spot the victim was found? By my estimations, it was no more than 1 meter. So he could have just simply sat up in the lake.
At 1 meter, the victim could have just stood straight up to avoid drowning.
Perhaps, but with the injuries Turner sustained and the shock of being attacked, that may have proven a difficult task. May I ask why the defense is so interested in this point? Because it would tell us whether the killer waited around to push the victim's head down or simply tossed him in the lake and fled. I see. So you're aware of the prosecution's upcoming witness. That's right, the witness. After we discovered the body, we heard someone yelling at us from across the lake. We rushed over and heard her story. She claimed to have seen someone else in the lake before we got there. I set out a search party and we very quickly found Sarah Fletcher, running away from us in wet clothes with blood smeared across her hands. Ooh, evidence added. Oh no. You didn't tell me that, Sarah!
Good heavens, that's quite compelling.
Officers found Sarah Fletcher in the park with wet clothes from waist down and bloody hands around 11 p.m. Wet clothes from the waist down. Almost empty.
This bitch was pushed from a plane!
Now I just have to prove it. I can't believe it. Why didn't she tell me about this before? That's how he broke his arm and leg. It's the prosecution's belief that Mrs. Fletcher unintentionally murdered Jet Turner at the Stone Spotted Park.
And how exactly did she carry out her plan?
First, the defendant started some sort of fight with the victim at the park on the night of the 11th. It resulted in her shooting Turner in the arm and chasing him into the lake. Since this coincided with the terrorist assault on the library, the sound of the gunshot blended into the warning shots fired by the criminals. It's because of this timing that we can assume Miss Fletcher is associated with the individuals who stormed the building. To prevent Turner from exposing her identity, she bound his hands and held his head under the water until he drowned. That's a flimsy, circumstantial... Do you really think she'd be capable of that? Look at her! She couldn't hurt a fly! Really now? I think she'd be capable.
I'm inclined to agree with Mr. Cross. Didn't the victim suffer broken bones as well? You had to bet quite a punch to deliver that sort of damage.
Correct. We believe the victim fell onto something hard during his attempt to flee from the defendant. 2 broken bones from one fall? I'm not so sure about that explanation. Regardless, one thing cannot be denied. Sarah Fletcher chased Turner into the lake before he was killed. Actually, it can be denied.
A cliff? Is that so? Well, then I believe you should back up your claim with evidence.
Sarah chased Turner into the lake. The footprints. There's a single set. Footprints were found in the mud along the west side of the lake. Are you sure they are not your own? Why were you stepping on important clues from the crime scene? Hey, I was being careful, like always. Look, the point is, only one set of footprints was found heading into the lake. So how is it possible for one person to have been chasing the other if they both would have left behind footprints?
That's a good point. But if the defendant really was seen in the lake, could this discrepancy be explained?
Maybe it was possible that Turner was already dead. Dead men leave no footprints. Fletcher shot him, bound his hands, and carried him into the lake. I don't buy it, and not just because I'll lose if I say nothing. I should think of a good response to destroy this possibility. The weight, Turner's injuries... Shit. Why couldn't Fletcher have carried Turner into the lake? Fletcher's clothes, but they said she had blood on her clothes. Right? I'd say the weight. Yeah, his injuries don't make any sense to me. I'm gonna try weight. Sarah isn't a bodybuilder, and she doesn't have some hidden strength that would allow her to move Turner so easily. He's fairly tall by comparison to Fletcher. If you were to try to explain the footprints by saying that she carried him in, there's one major issue with the evidence we have. From what I saw at the crime scene, the footprints were spaced far apart, as if whoever made it was running. If Sarah was able to carry the victim, she certainly wouldn't be able to run while doing so.
Why, that's entirely correct. Chief Bond's explanation doesn't quite hold up when you put it like that.
Whoops. All this must be above my pay grade. But you're the highest paid person here. As can be seen from our discussion, it is unlikely that Sarah carried Turner into the lake. Then we must reevaluate the timeline. The witness who claims she saw Fletcher in the water must be lying.
Objection.
Objection. How very human of you to commit such a leap of logic. Human cross. Unlikely does not mean impossible. We must consider more potential explanations. What about Occam's razor? If you wish to bring up such philosophical concerns, I will play your game. Here is a fact. A witness saw the defendant in the lake with the victim. And not only that, but this witness claims to have seen Turner running into the lake before Fletcher waded in. But wait, really? Your reasoning about the footprints is simple indeed, but an even simpler solution exists. Namely, that Turner did run into the lake via a different path. Different path? Consider the foliage blocking much of the border between the water and land. The footprints came from the direction of the path that runs alongside the lake, so whoever made them would have been on this western trail. Yeah. Now consider that if someone was further down the path, their shortest journey run into the lake would be through the foliage. Precisely. Turner ran into the lake for some unknown reason, and Fletcher attempted to cut him off by walking through the mud. Is there any way to verify this claim? Are there footprints anywhere else along the path we can reference? Unfortunately not, but we cannot rule out the possibility. Absurd. So we have to believe their wild story simply because one testimony supports it and we can't disprove it? I guess this must be how defense attorneys feel during the trials I've been a part of. But I must press on. Is there a reason Ajax hasn't acknowledged the other crime scene? I know he visited the airfield and talked to Amelia. Is he waiting for the right moment to bring it up, or does he believe it truly isn't relevant to the murder? Whatever the answer is, I should just play along and counter his points as they come up. No reason to complicate things just yet. I believe we should hear from the individual who spotted Fletcher in the first place. If their testimony doesn't hold up under scrutiny, there will be no basis for you to claim that Turner was being chased. Very well. She is here in the courthouse and ready to testify.
Beta, bring the witness in immediately. Prepare the stand. Order in the court. The witness is now on the stand. What is your name and occupation?
Harper Leaf, ready for duty, sir.
The only duty we request of you is the truth. I take it you're a park employee?
That's right. Park Ranger Leaf, at your service. This is the person who saw Sarah the other day? Ah. I must believe in her innocence, no matter what the prosecution throws at us. We will overcome this.
Well, Miss Leaf?
It's Leaf, sir. Leaf.
Yes, Miss Leaf. Might you enlighten the court about what you witnessed on the 11th of March?
Absolutely. I'll begin without delay.
Leaf's patrol.
It all started during my nightly patrol. My job is to make sure there's no trouble going on during the late hours of the day. Was this a typical shift for you? Yes, sir. The Stone Spotted Park is open in limited capacity after 11 p.m. So it wasn't unusual for her to see people walking around. I was making my nightly rounds when strange occurrences started happening. I heard a weird noise over my radio and a squirrel fell out of a tree. But more importantly, I started to hear screams coming from the library.
Halt.
Squirrel? Can you please specify the time that this happened? Huh? Ajax just told Hopper to halt. He exclaimed a simple phrase to get more information out of her statement. Maybe I should try doing the same. If I'm prompted with the question mark symbol, I can press Q or click the icon to get more details from the person speaking. There will never be any penalty for doing this, so I should use it whenever I feel like I need a better explanation. This must have been shortly after 10:30 p.m. Acceptable. This lines up with our estimations. Pretty soon after that, I heard noises closer than the library. I was approaching the lake when I saw it. I saw that man running into the lake, and a woman followed shortly after.
Order. Are you quite certain about this?
Yes, sir. Pretty sure. Pretty sure? So you have some doubt? Well, it was dark. Our lamps really need some maintenance. But I'm certain about what happened. The guy you call Jet Turner was sprinting into the water. How could he if his leg was broken?
Wait!
I remember to use the technique that Ajax just demonstrated. Now I'll be able to get more information from her. Where exactly did he start running from? Was it further down the path from the woman? Now that you mention it, yeah, I think he did have to go through those bushes to get through to wherever he was going. And can you identify the woman who ran after him? Yeah, it's her. Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine Miss Leaf's testimony. I don't believe she truly has the full picture here.
I suppose that would be appropriate. There are several things we must address before coming to any conclusions. Miss Leaf, please testify in further detail about what you witnessed the other night.
Okay, here we go. Cross-examination. Leaf in the lake. Sometime after 10:30 p.m., I was patrolling around the park. I didn't think much of the screams at first because I thought it was a party. Okay, so did it happen at 11 p.m.? Hold on a second. So they found her at 11 p.m. Does it have information about the the images? It doesn't have any information about when the library was taken over, though. So it's not gonna be important. So yeah, we're fine with this one. Then I heard a loud noise which came from close by. It must have been a gunshot. Okay, we have no evidence for remote either. I was on the east side of the lake by this point, so I turned to look at what the commotion was and completely stunned by the scene. Okay, so hold on a second. Where was the radio found? Okay, east side of the lake, okay, alright. There's blood gushing from Turner's arm as he ran from the path into the center of the lake. Okay, this is where can I do an objection, or do I have to? Okay, I can't present yet, so I have to listen to it first. Okay. That's when I realized that he was the one who got shot. His hands were bound, but I have no idea what the other injuries he could have sustained beforehand. Then I saw that woman, the defendant, running after him. She stopped in the middle of the lake and pushed that man's head into the water. When the deed was done, she took something from him. She saw me staring at her and ran off, taking the thing she stole with her. Yeah, how could he run if his leg was broken?
How dreadful.
This is bad. Her testimony was clear enough that the court is starting to truly believe her story. However, there was definitely something wrong in her final statement. Miss Leaf, are you sure that Sheriff Fletcher escaped the scene carrying whatever she took with her? Yeah, she must have put it in her pocket before the police caught her. No, that's not possible. What? You don't believe me? Consider the state of the victim according to her description. If that really is what happened before he drowned, then I know at least one thing was missing after he died. That missing thing must be what Fletcher took from him. I'm afraid your testimony contains a major contradiction, and this is why. Wait. What was missing from him? The way he said that, now I'm like, wait a minute, what? Wet clothes and bloody hands. It's not the zero data, we know that. Actually, hold on a second. I'm gonna save. Girly Pop, really? I thought we were past this. This seems you fully committed to the dark side of the law, and nothing I can say can pull you out of it. I forgot he does this! Fine. If we're going to do this, can you at least keep me company? You should know that I get summoned here every time you save scum. And I'm not about to let you think you've won. This world has linked us together for a reason, after all. I should say my piece while I still have time here. Fuck, fine. That's right. If you want to break the rules, expect a mouthful from old Chibi Cross. I think you owe me that much. Let's think about the positives. Ranting is really what I do best, so at least you'll be entertained for a bit. I forgot it does. Well, time's up. Back into the void I go. So if I... Can I... Oh, it doesn't show up again. Okay, so... I want to say it's because his thing is broken, but... So, what couldn't Sarah have taken? Why couldn't Sarah have taken the stolen item from Turner? Why? Because she has no pockets. Is that it? Because she's wearing a dress. And we all know dresses don't have... Yeah, like, how did the... Tiny knot was cut by a blade on each side. So he was tied up with it, and then they cut it free. I'm trying to think of this in a logical way, but oh my god. I want to say... it's the, If it's not this, I feel it's the autopsy report. But yeah, like... So how come she couldn't have taken what he... Why couldn't Sarah have taken the stolen item from Turner? If she had bloody hands, they'd be wet from wandering around in the water, right? That's what I'm thinking. I think I'm wrong, though. It's the answer. No. Ah, damn it. Present the exact thing that Fletcher stole. It'll prove that she didn't take it with her. What is the thing that she stole, though? Yeah, I want your opinion, actually. Let's go for it. Yeah, let's see what your guess is. Is it the cable? It could be the zero data because that... I think you're right. A cable, yeah. There goes Dora saving the day again. Cable was found alongside the east edge of the lake. The type used to bind industrial wires or small equipment together. The wire was tied into a knot, but cut at both ends. I believe this is what was used to bind the victim's hands. Since this binding wasn't tied to the victim when the police found him, the item that Fletcher stole from him must have been this. So you mean to say the defendant freed Turner's hands? Yes. And afterwards, she threw the binding on the ground as she ran from Harper. Ah! Well... So if that's true, did you purposefully lie to the court, or was it simply so dark that you can't give an accurate description of the events?
Objection.
I thought it was because of the broken leg, but the human crossover steps its bounds. In a situation like this, it is reasonable to expect some assumptions from our witness. In fact, the prosecution is well aware of the defendant's actions at this time. Wait, you already confirmed that she released his binds? Why didn't you speak up? We did not believe it was relevant to correct such a minor point. It is clear to us that Fletcher cut the cable, and she did it with this. Pocket knife. A pocket knife? We found it on the defendant's person during the arrest. I'm sorry for not telling you, Conrad. It doesn't matter, but with Ajax dismissing my point, this will be a lot tougher. Most importantly, Harper Leaf's statement corroborates our theory, even if the latter half is flawed. Okay, Dora. She saw Fletcher taking the binding and nothing more. Perhaps because the east side of the lake was too far to see clearly. The rest of Lee's testimony is still valid. Are you sure? Sounding to me like she's exaggerating what really happened. If she made a mistake here, what else was she wrong about? I'll just correct that last statement. She saw me staring at the situation and ran off. She could have tossed the item she took from Turner before completely fleeing the scene. Is that better, sir?
I believe that will do. Yes, Cross, you're up.
I must find another way to discredit her testimony. The truth is on our side, so I know a solution exists. I already know this one. It's Ranger Leaf to the rescue. I love Chibi Cross. The truth. Sometime at 10:30 p.m. I was strolling around the park, but then I heard a loud noise. I was on the east side of the lake by this point. Okay. Like as he ran. Okay, yep. There's our objection. We don't know when exactly the victim was shot, but it's true that something isn't quite right with their explanation. I should find something that proves my point more clearly. What? He ran from the path to the center of the lake. But that's it! But the footprints were clear. And we know the autopsy is traces of gasoline detected. Oh my god, I knew it. He was in the fuel tank. He was in the fucking... maybe not in the fuel tank, but yeah, the plane. Oh my god. Single side points are heading towards the west edge of the lake. Hold it right there. I was right about state of the park. Oh, blood gushing from his arm as he ran for the. There was no blood on anywhere. Yeah, there we go.
Objection.
I'm thinking of the fucking leg being broken. Like, what? Come on! So the victim was already shot when he started running to the center of the lake? Yes, that's right, sir. Already shot. Then if he was truly gushing blood from his arm, there would be traces of it all along the path that he ran, right? Right. So why was blood only located in the center of the lake where he was found dead? I still found it, but oh my god. This is most curious indeed. But it is possible the investigation simply missed a splash of blood in such a large body of water. We performed a thorough analysis of the lake contents. We are quite certain that the evidence we provided today is accurate. Nothing else relevant to this case could be found in the water. Is that so? Evidence updated. Water depth of 1 meter. Only adequate clue found on the lake was the blood where he floated. Okay. Sorry, sir. I actually added that part to fill in the gaps of my story. I didn't technically see him running towards the lake. So you lied to it? This is not the time for jokes. It wasn't a joke. I heard what I thought was a gunshot. It wasn't until a short time later I actually saw him standing in the water.
Wait!
How short of a time are we talking about? Maybe a few minutes at most? You did not see him flee from the defendant? This is unacceptable. I just wanted to be more useful than I was. But it doesn't matter, right? Because it's just a minor detail, sir. If he wasn't shot before entering the lake, then how did the gunshot appear on his shoulder by the time the police found him? Simple. He was already standing at the spot of his death at the time he was shot. Then with the bullet lodged in his arm, he was... Yeah, no.
Objection.
Bullet wasn't lodged in his arm. It went through and through. So you're making assumptions again. Is that right? This one has to be the truth, sir. I'm certain of it. I think there's a serious problem with your statement. Okay. Yeah, in autopsy report, details, bullet wound located in upper left arm. The bullet went clean through. According to the autopsy report, a different story emerges. Namely, that the wound described here makes it impossible for the bullet to have been stuck in the victim's arm. Okay, I messed up again. It was just another assumption, you see. What really happened is not too different. The shooter must have had a high vantage point in order to make a precise, clean shot that passed through his arm. The angle she described is consistent with the wound we discovered on the human Turner. The source of the bullet was somewhat above him. I just didn't see him myself since I only looked towards the lake shortly after that noise. Sound better, sir? Bitch, that's not how a testimony works. No, not at all. What? This is the reason your explanation falls apart. What? God damn it. A set of footprints in the mud heading towards the west edge of the lake. Oh my god. Portable radio. Oh, only relevant item or clue found in the lake was a... Where's the bullet if it went clean through? According to Ajax's earlier statement, nothing related to the case was found after a thorough investigation of the lake's contents. When you consider the autopsy report, we know the bullet passed cleanly through his arm. So if you and the prosecution are correct in assuming the shooter aimed slightly downwards to hit the victim, then why wasn't there a bullet found in the water he was standing in?
Order. So you mean to say that he wasn't shot while he was located in the middle of the lake?
Well, that's true. We did a bullet pass through his arm. As you demonstrated, he wasn't shot before he started walking. We stepped right into a paradox that would make these events impossible.
No, we haven't. I solved it earlier. He was dropped from a plane.
Exactly. So if our facts tell us one thing and Miss Lease tells us another, the point of contention should be her blatantly false testimony.
Objection.
Oh, what do you don't have a circuit to stand on. I hate to disappoint the human cross, but there is no reason to invalidate the witness's testimony at this time. Harper Leaf has simply made another human error. It is, in fact, possible for the victim to have traveled to the center of the lake without leaving a trace.
Then please explain your proposition to the court.
Certainly. The prosecution believes the bullet wound was covered by something which prevented bleeding until Turner was in the correct position. Specifically, we have uncovered this piece of cloth which was stained with the victim's blood. It was floating next to him when the police found him. A bloody cloth. Wait, but you just said there was nothing relevant to the case found in the lake.
Ajax, you liar. Mr. Cross is correct. Why have you kept this important piece of evidence from us?
It was not truly relevant until this moment. It matters not how or where the victim was shot, because he ultimately died by drowning, and the human responsible is still none other than Sarah Fletcher. What a cowardly response. He was just trying to implicate Fletcher in every possible manner before revealing what he already knew. Okay, so let's take a look at bloody cloth. Found it and stained with his blood. Okay.
I'm sorry, but we cannot tolerate something like that from the prosecution. It is your duty to provide us with the facts, and the location in which the victim was shot has been a subject of discussion for some time now.
I apologize, but if it is any consolation, the blood sample analysis had only just been completed before I presented it. My cybernetics processed the idea that the evidence presented in this court must be thoroughly analyzed before being used haphazardly.
You have a point, but I would urge you to be more careful in the future. Is there anything else you have kept from us?
Negative. The witness may continue now. Wait.
Objection.
That's a flat-out lie. You know as well as I do there's an entirely different side to the story. There's indeed still more to learn about Turner's movements before he arrived at the Stone Spotted Park, but it is not relevant at this time. What matters is this moment is what happened when the human Fletcher approached him in the lake. When the court is satisfied with the witness's story, this trial will be over. There is no need to complicate the scenario. Why would he refuse to talk about the missing person investigation at the Aspen airfield? Does he know that he has no chance of winning if that topic shifts there? Or is there something else I should be worried about? I feel out of my element here. I shouldn't push too hard without knowing his strategy.
Well, there's no further concerns, then we may proceed. Witness, we must hear further details about the moment the victim drowned.
Yes, sir. I can happily perform my duty. I'd like to cross-examine this testimony.
Granted. Please tell us what happened when the defendant entered the water.
Dark Waters. I love the names. That woman is a monster. She had a rage in her heart as she was storming towards the center of the lake. Turner was standing there, unwilling to move. I guess his injuries must have been causing him pain. This is all happening shortly after 10:30 p.m., though I can't narrow down the precise time. Anyways, I was also in shock because I had no idea what was going on. But when Fletcher reached the man, she grabbed his head. She held his head down under the water in a fit of anger and stayed in that position for some time. I shouted at her to stop, but she didn't listen. I was too paralyzed to act, and I blame myself for not doing anything about it. With no one else in sight and no way to call for help, I felt hopeless. Oh, really? Then suddenly, Fletcher released Turner and looked up at me. I'll never forget her scary expression. I had never seen anything like that before, so I still stood there, frozen. Fletcher made her escape through the west side of the lake and fled south. Later, the police found me near the lake, and I explained what had happened. Bitch, the radio still worked. You mean to say you explained the fake story you gave us earlier, right? Hey, that's not fair. I was in a panic.
It's quite all right. We understand your predicament.
No, it's not. She lied under oath. Rest assured, dear witness, that if you make such false claims again, you may be charged with perjury. Yeah, I don't think that will help. It's not much of a threat these days. Feels like perjury happens every other day in this courtroom, and most people get away with it for some bizarre reason. Get up here, citizens. Park Ranger Leaf has provided accurate testimony. I'm not buying it. Something isn't adding up. If I'm going to free Sarah from this nightmarish ordeal, I must find a contradiction in her testimony.
If there are further questions, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Yeah, let's go find the truth. Let's go. Yeah, what about this?
Objection.
Yes! Ranger Leaf. Yes, sir? Is there a problem? There is. You claim to have had no way to call for help, but I have a feeling you're lying through your teeth. What do you mean? There's nobody else in the park. That may be true, but you still had a way to request backup without needing people nearby to hear your yell. Harper Leaf, your portable radio was found at the scene and it was fully functional. Though you might have dropped it or misplaced it, your first reaction should have been to call your supervisor or ask for help from other park staff. So why didn't you testify that you tried to use it? Why was it found on the ground? But that was... I forgot about the radio. I didn't think to reach for it. It must have been clipped from my belt or something. I did notice it was missing after the whole thing was over. Are you sure that's really true? No matter what you say, this is incredibly suspicious.
Halt.
Please enlighten the court. What precisely are you trying to say? Though I can't say for certain whether Harper played a part in this crime, one thing is very clear now. She is not telling us the whole truth.
That is a fair point, Cross. However, it could simply be a mistake, as we have previously seen from this witness.
God damn it. Stop apologizing for her.
If she is intentionally hiding the fact that she did not call for help, what purpose would it serve to leave the radio at the scene of the crime?
I'm not sure yet. Ha! You see? He's just making stuff up. I'm positive that I remembered every detail clearly. Fuck you. I'll never forget that look on her face. Those cold eyes fueled by hatred. Her hair soaking wet. It was a night... Oh! Only their bottom half was wet! When Fletcher killed that poor man by holding him down, she plunged her whole body into the water to make sure the deed was done properly. That's why we can't let her go free today. Bitch! Wait, so you mean to say that she tackled him and pushed him down to the lake's floor in order to drown him? Yeah! She's stronger than she looks. I can tell you that much. That's not the part I'm concerned with. In fact, I already have everything I need to prove that your story is a fabrication. Here we go. Time to expose her lie. Police report! Wet clothes from the waist down. According to the information provided by Chief Batten and Ajax earlier, the police found Sarah at the park shortly after you told them what happened. Yeah, and? They caught her red-handed, literally. Not so fast. Remember what we learned earlier about her taking something from the victim? Using the pocket knife, she was able to free the binds tying Mr. Turner's hands together, and then she tossed them onto the ground. She touched his clothing in order to accomplish that. That would explain how the blood ended up on her hands, with no malicious intent needed.
Objection.
Someone's in trouble! Phoenix! Then why did the defendant run when Leaf spotted her? And Adam Sandler's voice. Someone's in trouble! Do you seriously think we can believe anything this witness has to say? You can! I'm telling you the truth! What about my accurate description of Fletcher's terrible crime? What about the hatred I saw plastered on her drenched face? That's precisely what's wrong with your description, Miss Leaf. In the very same police report that I mentioned moments ago, she was described as having wet clothes from the waist down. So how is it possible for you to have witnessed her drenched face if her torso was completely dry just minutes later? Oh, that's funny, Phoenix. Nice.
I believe I've heard enough. Your testimony contains too many inconsistencies with the facts as we know them.
No, wait. You've got it all wrong. I have to contribute to her conviction. I have to. It's my duty to keep our park safe from criminals.
Your duty was to state the truth and nothing but the truth. You have failed in that regard. Bailiff, take her away this instant.
We did it. There's no way they believe her now. Just hold on. I know I messed up. I'm sorry. Sorry isn't going to cut it. Your words could very well determine the future of an innocent human being. Listen, I know I made some assumptions, but thinking back on it now, you really should hear what happened. The lion, the witch, and the audacity of this bitch. I thought I was helping by creating an easy scenario for the court, but Park Ranger Lee screwed it up, like always. I'm like, I like your movies, Mr. Ed Norton, man. Rat! You may speak. Please, enlighten the court. And we're allowing it. We're actually, okay, whatever. Okay, I heard that loud noise and didn't really think much of it. It was a short while later when I turned and saw someone floating in the lake. It was the victim. My theory of the plane is coming clearer and clearer. So he was already dead by the time you saw him? Yes. There was nothing I could do. And right as I spotted him, I saw Fletcher running into the lake. She shouted, "Are you alive?" and sprinted towards him. It was too dark to see what was happening, and I wasn't thinking clearly. I just wanted to be useful. I saw her doing something to the body and assumed it was awful. In reality, she was cutting that binding cable so his arms would be freed. I seriously didn't understand what to say. So people saw I was quiet when I was annoying, and I was like, "Mom, stop." Mom, it's the Abadoobie man. Leave him alone. Abadoobie, Abadisandra. I don't know what I'm even doing. At the time, I could only believe that she was doing something terrible to him. I sort of got. That's why I made up the part about him being chased into the water. When I finally gathered the courage to act, I yelled at her and she ran away. She thought I misunderstood what she was trying to do, and she was entirely right. I labeled her a criminal before knowing the facts. It's my fault that they arrested her, but still, I can't shake this feeling that she is dangerous. We just haven't seen that side of her yet. That's oh, okay, you know, Ranger Leaf, I'll give you this much. You have a good judge of character. Like, holy fuck.
Your recollection is true. It would imply that Miss Fletcher wasn't trying to murder the victim at all. In fact, it sounds more like she was trying to help him.
Hey, Black Rose, how you doing?
Bluebeard over here, what the...
No! Oh, God! It took me a second to realize you're talking about the judge! I express my sincerest apologies to the court, but that is undoubtedly false. What? But Miss Leaf just testified that Sarah only approached Turner to free his hands from the cable. Incorrect. She testified that the human defendant approached Turner and fled when she was spotted. Who would do such a thing if they were not guilty of something? She was just scared of people misunderstanding the situation. Nobody would want to be found with a corpse. Conjecture. It is just as likely that she entered the water specifically to finish the job and the victim was not already deceased. This guy.
If neither side can prove their point, we must pursue another topic.
Agreed. It's not nearly enough information to determine the defendant's true intentions. I would kind of send her away to be done with it. This is bad. Since Harper didn't actually see the victim drown, we can't say for certain who was truly responsible. But on the flip side, this could be the perfect moment to introduce a new perspective on Turner's movements. Counselors, I believe I have something that can shed new light on the situation. This should be interesting. I am eager to process your new information. During my investigation yesterday, I discovered something that points to an entirely different location that could be key in understanding these events. If we were to analyze this piece of evidence, it might demonstrate where this incident truly started. The plain blood pool. It all starts to come together when you consider the victim's place of employment, the Aspen Air Company's airfield in the outskirts of the city. He was a trusted pilot and was spotted at the hangar by one of his co-workers on the night of the attack. This purple tech god. The day after he was killed, Turner was reported missing. Though it was strange for him not to show up to work, what really started concerns at the Aspen Airfield was the presence of a blood pool in the center of the hangar. Additionally, there was an incident during yesterday's investigation. Someone stole a piece of evidence which was located at the scene. It was all part of some sort of cover-up operation. This could very well be related to the victim, if it was part of, could very well be related to the victim's murder. Oh, hydrate. Considering these two facts together, the defense believes that this is the true location he was attacked.
I see. This is most concerning. If it can be proven that Turner was killed at the airport, the defendant must be declared innocent based on the location alone.
Objection.
It is almost humorous that you should say something so naive. As it happens, the prosecution has gathered a fair bit of evidence from the airfield you speak of. We would like to present a new claim. The human Turner was attacked and killed at the Aspen airfield by none other than Sarah Fletcher herself. Bitch, are you insane? A witness testified that she saw Sarah at the park. Indeed, yet we know for a fact that the defendant was present at the hangar nearly 2 hours before she was arrested. What? Because this photo taken by the structured security camera shows her aiming a gun at Jet Turner. What? I will add this picture to the public record. No, this can't be real. It is hopeless to resist the inevitable, human cross. I have tried to end this quickly, but it seems to require additional time before the defense is able to come to terms with the situation. I strongly suggest that you yield and save us both the trouble of obliterating the defendant's public image. He already had this photo. He knew the whole time that if I was to try to shift the location of the crime, it would only spell defeat for us. I'm such a fool. I walked right into his trap. Yeah, what was in the suitcase?
Order in the court. We will now take a 10-minute recess to process this new information and prepare the next round of witnesses. I expect both of you to keep it civil during the upcoming testimony.
It is my duty to oblige with that request.
We have no choice but to keep moving forward. Very well. Court adjourned.
Holy fuck. With no clear answer as to when or where the victim truly died, I can only hope that we're ready to handle whatever comes next. For better or worse, things are about to get a whole lot more complicated. Dude, that's the perfect place to stop. I know we had the... Where did the automatic go? Said automatic save. Where is the automatic save? Well, we're just gonna save here. Just Hawk 1. There we go. Make sure it loads properly. Oh, there's the auto. So the auto, yeah, of course you guys have. So there's the autosave. We have that. Okay, so we're good. Yeah, we're gonna call it here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What are my stats? Okay. Inspected 15 times, talked 6 times, objected 10 times, for the evidence 48 times, penalized 10 times. No! Oh shit. Psycho Man is AI gen that pic. Get the fuck out of here. No. Oh god. This is... I forgot how good these... Like how entertaining these actually are. Like how actually seriously entertaining they are. So let's see here. Complete Chapter 3, Trial 1, Chapter 3, Trial 2, Chapter 3, Trial 3. Oh geez. Use the power of objection to keep a witness from leaving. Free fall experience the thrill of... Check the door too many times. Chapter 3, Trial 2. Escape the level in Chapter 3, Trial 3. Discover the secret of the courtroom in the prologue. Discover the secret. What? What are the secret achievements? Complete Chapter 6 and use the lake to cool off. Oh, I could have gone in the lake. What? Hold up a sec. I want to. Where's the save? I didn't go in the lake. I didn't know I could go in the lake. Please tell me there's an autosave. I mean, if not, it's easy enough to get back. Like, I could pick the chapters at least. And good thing I saved, so... So if you load auto... Okay, there's several autosaves. Okay, so this is the... Yeah, that's the... Okay, so what if I... Let me make sure. Does that load where I want it to load? Just gonna make sure real quick. Okay, good. Okay, so we have that. So if we go to... So even if this ruins our autosaves, we could still... Because it probably would. Yeah, okay, okay. How do I skip? Oh, it's just auto mode. I need to go faster. Faster! Faster! I have to try and get into the lake. And welcome back, Dora. I'm about to stop streaming. Because you left it in a good place, but then it's like, oh, hey, I saw one of the achievements says cool off in the lake. And I'm like, I didn't do that. Yeah, there's no way to speed it up. Damn it! Okay. I wish there was a skip function for things you've already seen, like if you're replaying a chapter or something. So you just get to like doing the achievements or something. Oh wait, this is... It was named Chapter 3. We didn't do any Chapter 1s or anything. This really is just like a middle story in the middle of the other game. Yeah, it's like a pseudo sequel prequel. That's thousands of gigabytes. Thousands! I love how he said that. And he's genuinely surprised by that. Oh my god. Oh, is it still storming? Nope. Jeez, that is insane. The storm ended as soon as it began, really. Zero data. The things I do for achievements. I totally could have done this off stream, but since it's only 9:30, I figure I'll... Yep, there goes an autosave. Good thing I saved when I did. Ties. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure the first game has achievements like this too, where you have to do certain things at investigation points, but I don't have saves, so I have to redo the whole thing if I want to get 100%. But man, I'm like, playing this makes me sad that Sarah is A, a terrorist, and also B, dead in the actual current timeline, you know what I mean? That makes me kind of sad. But at least we still have flocking. Sexy, sexy flocking. Sounds like a fucking innuendo. You can hear me hit the button. Why does it look so different? Because the graphics are better. Because the dev learned how to do better 3D modeling. I don't know. The first game does have some charm. It does have some charm to it. Oh, he's the assistant with glasses? I don't know. I like the enemies to lovers trope, so... So flocking is like a perfect choice. But Chloe, I say that's not a bad choice either. Now that, you know, Fletcher's dead. And, you know, was also a terrorist. It was so sad. Cross the forlorn puppy. Oh, excuse me. Man, all the... This is taking me like 6 minutes so far. Holy crap. It's so hot in here, too. That's kind of why I'm also ending the stream, so I can open up the door in here. Alright, let's go for a swim. Sure, is there a, like, fast text setting? Hold on a second. Interface. Text normal. Auto continue speed, continue, button type. Skip text? What? What? Oh, it doesn't look like there's... I thought maybe there was a setting I missed, but oh well. I think I can set the auto to go super fast or something. Hold on a second here. Auto continue speed. Fast, there we go. Oh. That doesn't help either. Damn it! I love the fact that they left the body in there like a whole day. Like, my god. Come on, I gotta get in the water. Fish are eating good. God. It's the circle of life. You can't be serious. Surely you can't be serious. I am, and don't call me Shirley. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my theory of him getting pushed out of a plane is 100% accurate. Because there was some sort of fuel on the ropes that he was bound with. So he's bound at the airport. And he broke his leg and arm. And died from drowning. So he fell in the lake and basically drowned. A lot of noise you heard was him falling in the lake. Okay, let's see. Can I do it? Come on. There's got to be some way to get in here. All right. It's for all my achievement hunters out there. There has to be some way to get in here. Easter egg, God. Get in the lake, Conrad. We're playing no fucking way. Wrath. Oh, come on. Trust me. So if there was, it would likely tell you. It's called spoiling the plot. We don't have that here. Oh, come on! Oh my god, I did all that for nothing. Hold on a second. The fucking achievement said... I think it was a hidden one. Yeah, cold swim. Use the lake to cool off in Chapter 3, Trial 1. Unless it's not this point. Maybe I'm not there. Maybe I have to go back and investigate, and then oh no. Did I do all this for nothing? How would you bet I did all this shit for oh my god, there has to be. Guy, okay. Containing spoilers, okay. Investigation and cold swim, yeah. Chapter 3, while investigating the park, run towards the left side of the lake that is behind a rock. There is a fountain. Oh! Head towards the fountain. Okay, so I am in the right spot. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Okay. I never would have found this out. Holy shit. Okay, so investing right towards the left side of the lake. In the distance behind a rock, there is a fountain. Okay, let's see here. I see it. Head towards the fountain. The bench should be a small distance on your right side. Okay, so continue towards the fountain. You will hit an invisible wall. Okay. Oh, damn it. Oh, maybe I gotta keep going. Whoops. Okay, I see. Okay, I'm standing where I need to be standing. Walk right along the wall. You should end up near the lakeside plants. Oh, damn it. It's not letting me. I think I'm supposed to be standing like right here. Damn it! Fuck, man. There we go! I had to go a little further. There we go! Oh! Oh, yes! Oh, wow. I actually navigated through all those invisible walls and found a way into the lake. This is really cold water, though. I don't know what I was thinking just charging in with a suit. Okay, too cold, actually. Time to turn back. Still cold. It's still not the right time for a swim. I'm pretty impressed by this water shader, though. Great job, me. Oh my god! Fucking amazing. Oh my god, absolutely amazing. Actually amazing.